the dua of Yusuf alayhi salam at the lowest point of his life, where not only is he neglected, not only has he been abandoned by his family, not only is he in a strange land, not only is he living life like a slave, not only is he now slandered, but he's even going to prison. Allah gives us his dua at that moment. And then later on in the surah, Allah gives us Yusuf alayhi salam's dua at the highest point in his life, when he's ascended the throne and his family has been reunited with him, and he has achieved every single standard of success from a worldly perspective and from a religious perspective. Allah gives us both the lowest point and the highest point. His highest point is very simple. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once said that there is no person that is more noble than Yusuf alayhi salam. Nabi, ibn Nabi, ibn Nabi, ibn Nabi. He's a prophet, the son of a prophet, the son of a prophet, the son of a prophet. So from a nobility perspective, this is the most noble man in regards to lineage that has ever walked the face of the earth. From a beauty perspective, the Prophet ﷺ says Yusuf alayhi salam was given half of the beauty of the children of Adam alayhi salam. Half of it was given to Yusuf alayhi salam. From a child's perspective, out of 12 children, he is the one that is most beloved to his father. He is the one that his father, who is a great prophet of Allah, favors the most and loves the most. From a wealth perspective, if you read historically, they were also a well-off family. So he has everything: honor, privilege, looks, status, everything that you can imagine. At the lowest point in his life, he has no family. He has no reputation. He has no money. He has no protection. And he has no future. Because when you're in a prison cell, you don't see the end, you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're being thrown into a prison cell where you will reside for the rest of your life. SubhanAllah, I mean, this man has gone through everything that you can possibly imagine. And that's why Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala says, there is no man in the history of the world that has had more tahawul in ni'mah, that has had more fluctuation in regards to his blessings in life than Yusuf alayhi salam. He has lived every single portion of life. I mean, he's been in every single position. He said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we also find with him that he has lived in every situation. He knows what it's like to be in poverty, alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has lived in utter poverty. Then he knew what it was like to live in a state of wealth. Okay? وَوَجَدَكَ عَائِلًا فَأَغْنَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala found you poor and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made you rich. He marries Khadija radiallahu anha. And the Prophet ﷺ experiences what it's like to be wealthy. He knows what it's like to barely make it. Al-kafaf. What's called al-kafaf, which means just making it, to eat just enough, to have just enough to get by. The Prophet ﷺ knows what it's like to live an obscure lifestyle. He was a shepherd on the outskirts of Mecca for many years of his life. He knows what it's like, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to be respected without having any money, to achieve a position of integrity and respect in society, not using any of the traditional means of money and so on and so forth. He knows what it's like to be respected and be wealthy. He knows what it's like to be slandered, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's been through it all. He knows what it's like to be a follower. He knows what it's like to be in charge of his own followers. He knows what it's like to have his own enemies at his mercy. I mean, you talk about a fluctuation in life. The Prophet ﷺ has lived through it all. And so has Yusuf alayhi salam. And that's why Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah ta'ala says something very profound. He says the two essential qualities of a Muslim's character are sabr and shukr. Patience and gratitude. Patience and gratitude. And he said all that sabr is, the only thing patience is gratitude in times of hardship. Sabr is to still be shakir, to still have shukr when you're going through hard times. Why? Because what is patience? To be able to look at what you still have and say alhamdulillah. Something has been taken away from you. You've been afflicted with a major tragedy, whether it's the loss of a person or the loss of wealth or whatever it may be. And you're able to still keep things in perspective and say, you know what, I'm still okay. You're able to still be grateful and see what you still do have that Allah has not taken away from you. So it's shukr in times of hardship. Whereas he says, shukr is sabr in times of ease. Gratitude just means to be patient in times of ease. What does that mean? Whenever you reach a position of privilege and your lifestyle is great, to still be patient with the things that you will never be able to attain except in the hereafter. to not crave even more than what you do have. So to be patient with the restrictions that this life inherently contains. So sabr and shukr are really one quality in the same, right? It's the consistent character of the believer that no matter what happens to his circumstances, he still turns back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all times, and he still expresses a sense of gratitude and an ability and a willingness to take it as it comes. Whatever is going to come in my direction, I will maintain what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded me to maintain, and my character will not change for worse as a result of circumstances that change for worse.